You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
MAGA attorney floats no mercy response if Supreme Court goes against Trump. Adios, based on an article by David McAfee. Deportation as preemptive punishment. The power here is not hard to find. Mike Davis is not a random online provocateur tossing out fever dreams. He is a prominent ally of Donald Trump, heads the Article Roman III project, and has been floated for senior legal roles in Trump's orbit. That matters because the threat he issued was not a private lapse. It was a signal from someone positioned near institutional power, aimed at normalizing what the state might do next. The immediate trigger was a possible Supreme Court ruling against the Trump administration on birthright citizenship. Davis treated that possible loss not as a legal disagreement to absorb, but as a cue for escalation. More detention, more deportation, and a target list built around reproductive capacity. The target is the point. Davis did not merely call for enforcement. He singled out birthing-aged women as the priority. That language is not accidental. It turns immigration policy into demographic sorting, and it treats women's bodies as administrative categories for state violence. The cruelty is not hidden. It is explicit. With no mercy, he wrote, then closed with adios. This is how political dehumanization works when it is speaking in the open. Strip the group of status, strip them of individuality, then present the act of removal as common sense. The blame is being misdirected. Davis framed the Supreme Court as the lawless actor in advance, accusing the justices of preparing to give away citizenship to illegal aliens. That is a convenient dodge. It relocates responsibility away from the people advocating punishment and onto the institution that might resist them. The court has not ruled yet, but Davis is already laying groundwork for retaliation, which is the real story. The threat is not interpretation of law. It is the willingness to use state power against a vulnerable class of people if the legal system does not deliver the preferred result. Enforcement talk is political theater. The attached message from Homeland Security, official Marquane Mullen, gives the performance its official sheen. Mullen praised deportation efforts by invoking illegal alien criminals and listing rapists, murderers, pedophiles, and gang members. That framing is a familiar laundering device. Use the worst possible offenders as cover for broader, far less discriminating coercion. Davis then pushed past even that familiar cynicism. He did not stay at the level of criminalization rhetoric. He went straight to reproductive targeting. That is where the mask slips. The language of public safety becomes a vehicle for demographic control. What this reveals: this story is about how authoritarian habits enter mainstream politics through legal advocacy, administrative messaging, and online signaling from people close to power. The point is not just to punish undocumented people. The point is to make punishment feel pre-authorized, inevitable, and morally hygienic. That is the deeper pattern. Institutional actors testing how far they can turn legal defeat into escalated cruelty. When officials and their allies respond to constitutional limits by threatening mass detention and deportation of women, the issue is no longer border policy. It is the construction of a political order where state violence answers embarrassment, and where the loss of legal argument is met with the promise of bodily coercion. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Ross Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Librets R. Thanks for listening.